guys, it is me, Kid. How are you guys? So I wanted to bring you guys into a different part of my life, I guess if you would call it that for me. So today I got this recipe from Pink Salt. It's actually vegan chocolate chip cookies. Here's the actual cookie. And pictures are for the end. Hey guys, it's me, Kid. How are you guys? So I wanted to bring you guys into a different part of my life, I guess if you would call it that. I am an avid baker. I love to bake. I love to be in the kitchen. I love to cook. I think what it is just my heart for giving and helping others that I can gather people through food, and it's just one of my favorite things to do. I love seeing people's reactions from the things that I bake and the things that I'm able to cook. So I am going to bring you guys into my kitchen and kind of show you what I do for my recipes. So being that I'm vegan, I've been vegan for about 3.5, almost 4 years now. So I find my inspiration in a few different ways. So first of all, I find my inspiration by veganizing regular recipes, right? So since I know how ingredients work together, it's easy for me to see a non-vegan recipe and then just easily know what I need to do to make it vegan, right? Whether that's switching out the butter, making homemade buttermilk, things like that. I will know how to switch ingredients out. So I don't necessarily always look for a vegan recipe. There are some things that are a lot harder as far as like switching out baking conversions, so you do want to make sure that it's succinct because baking is definitely a science. So there are times where I will look up a vegan recipe for inspiration, but even when I see another vegan recipe, I always try to change it and make it my own, or add different things or take different things out, or just experiment. I do like to go a little crazy in the kitchen because it's fun, right? It's a way to experiment, a way to express yourself, and it's definitely a creative outlet for me. So today I got this recipe from Pink Salt. It's actually vegan chocolate chip cookies. She has a really good standard chocolate chip cookie recipe. It's actually great as it is. But as I've made the recipe, I've kind of gone through it and just made some tweaks and changes to make it more enjoyable for me and my family. So kudos and shout out to her for this recipe. And as I go through, I'll just kind of show you some of the things that I changed up to make it more my own, and also to, like I said, use my creative outlets. So I have on my hat because honestly, I'm still so tired from the concert last time. Well, not the concert, the worship experience last time.
Church from right here in South Florida. We love what God is doing in and through you. Those of you who are leading watch parties, who are leading e-groups, who are volunteering, who are giving. We love seeing how God is using you right in this area. And maybe you're here tonight and you didn't even know that you could be a part of Elevation Church from right here, but you can. And if you would like any more information about it, thank you for being here. We're going to get ready to worship in just a few minutes. Are you ready for that? Are you ready?
Tell Aaron and his sons, this is how you are to bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. So they will put my name on the Israelites and I will bless them. Tonight we speak the blessing of Almighty God over you, your church, your city, your family, your children, and their children, and their children for 1,000 generations, in the name that is above every other name, the name of Jesus. Amen.
The Lord bless you and keep you.
Oh my gosh, guys, it was so amazing. Like, I have no words to explain how good God is. Like, I literally, if you can hear it in my throat, it's kind of like still going in and out just a little bit, because just to be in the presence of God with thousands and thousands of other people, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, you're able to see that outside of the news and all the crazy things that's happening, and you know, people just not feeling connected at times, right? You're able to go into this one space where there's thousands of people that think like you, that believe that God is who he says he is. So it was amazing. We literally worshiped for almost 3.5 hours with Elevation worship night in Sunrise, Florida last night. So I'm not getting fully dressed for this video, okay? In fact, once I get done, I'm probably gonna rest, because I think when my husband gets home, he's gonna want to go work out. So I'm trying to rest. And I'm just chilling. I mean, I have no one to impress, so I'm just being me, and I'm gonna get to baking. So here we are. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and start with this recipe. Shout out to my aunt for making me this awesome apron. So let me go over the ingredients first. So first, what I have here is flour, and yes, everything I have in big containers is labeled in my pantry, because it makes life easier for me and my husband. Here's the brown sugar, which is what I will need as well. I'll need 2 mixing bowls, measuring cups, vanilla extract, baking powder, baking soda, coconut oil, sea salt, and chocolate. So let's go ahead and start. So the first thing we're gonna do is get 2 full cups of flour. This is just organic all-purpose flour. There's nothing, you know, super special about it. I want to try this recipe with bread flour, but just not sure how that will work out. Bread flour has made my life a lot easier when it comes to like baking cupcakes and things, because it just makes it a lot softer. So we'll see if I can use that with cookies. I don't know. So what I have in this bowl so far is the 2 cups of flour. The next thing I'm going to do is 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And I have my measuring cups here, so I'm looking for 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm going to dump that right in there. And then I'm going to need 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm really just using this sea salt right now, because this is what I have on hand. And salt is definitely needed when it comes to baking. So it's very important. Now, in the original recipe, it calls for 1 1/4 of sugar, but I consciously do not feel good adding that much sugar into anything that me and my husband use. So I am just going to be using 1 cup of sugar. So what you want to do with this is actually not dump it right in the dry ingredients. You want to put it in a separate bowl, because that's actually going to be mixed with oil later on. So just wanted to go ahead and measure that out. So in this bowl is the brown sugar. Back to the dry ingredients. Let's go ahead and mix this in. I forgot the baking powder. Actually, there is no baking powder. Don't even wonder why I have that. Alright, so let's go ahead and incorporate this first. Get it all mixed in here, and you can use a sifter, but honestly, I was reading Martha Stewart's, I think it was actually a post that she had, and she said if you don't use a sifter, you can actually just use a whisk. So it just makes life easier using a whisk. So I'm just getting this incorporated once again. So now we're going to switch over to, like I said before, the brown sugar. I'm just going to mash this down since it's in the shape of the 1 cup. It is packed. So I'm just kind of breaking this down so I don't have any clumps actually go to make the cookies. And then what I'm going to do with this is put in a half a cup of the veggie oil, which is the coconut oil. I just went ahead and melted it off camera so that way it'll be a lot easier to work with. So you're just going to make this into like a quick little slurry, if you will. It is going to get a little clumpy, but that's okay, because what you need to do next is into this recipe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And what I'm using is oat milk. I think in her recipe she might use an almond milk. I'm just not a huge fan of almond milk, so I think I was at first because I didn't really see another choice as far as what vegans can have before oat milk came out. So I naturally gravitated to it. But now that it's oat milk, I'm totally in love with oat milk. So I tend to use it more often than not. Alright, so I'm going to keep mixing this up. And basically what we're trying to do is just break down the sugar a little. And then what we're going to do from here is go ahead and mix the ingredients. So what you want to do is combine the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. So again, here's all the dry and here's all the wet. And now we want to mix the wet to the dry. So I'm going to use my spatula so I don't overmix it. And you want to kind of do 1 cup at a time. So here we are, just kind of getting everything all incorporated. And as I'm mixing, you can start to see how it's turning, it's getting a little harder the more flour you add to mix it. But it's perfectly fine because remember, you're trying to get a cookie dough. I actually totally forgot to use the I'm just going to I'm not even sure how much. So keep mixing, don't overmix, but you do just want to get rid of it. Here's also what I do that's different is that I like to have chocolate incorporated all throughout the mixing process because I like to have the chocolates already in the mix at each stage. For me, I've just seen that it helps the chocolate really to come through versus at the end. So now I'm going to add the rest of this flour. And again, this is my take on this particular recipe. So I do believe that there are right and wrong ways, but I think it just depends on what works for you. So you do kind of have to mix it, like I said before, just to get rid of the flour. Before you know it, you're gonna have a cookie dough. And right now I'm just getting rid of, any of the flour. You don't want to have any white chunks. Her recipe calls for 1 cup of chocolate chips. I will measure out a cup, but honestly, I'm pretty sure I use way more than that. And I usually double this recipe and freeze it, but I'm not going to do that this time because I honestly already have a lot of frozen desserts in my freezer and I don't need to add it now. So now here we have a wonderful textured chocolate chip cookie. And I think her recipe calls for the recipe to sit in, the dough to sit in the refrigerator for about 48 hours or so. I tried that and I honestly really didn't see much of a difference. So I normally just go right for it. So this is the final cookie dough. And now I am going to take the cookie dough. I have my scooper here and I'm going to form some nice big cookies. Sometimes I don't think it's still overgrab. It's one thing about the dough is that it does not stop you from overgrabbing. So it's so crazy how from all the praise and worship, my voice is like, hello? So I'm just gonna do this a couple more times until I have a nice amount of cookies. And if you think this is a lot of chocolate, trust me, it's not. It's not even. You do want to make sure that your oven is preset to 350. Which did I do that? I did not. But it is going now. So here are the cookies. And what I normally do is I keep a few on the tray. You guys actually even see these cookies? There you go. I keep a few on this tray, and then what I like to do at the end is I like to just put a few chocolate chips on top, extra. I'll actually go around and add extras pointed down because it just makes the cookie a lot gooier on the inside. But then you can also see that when it bakes up, the chocolates are like right on top. And I'll actually go through and add a lot more. So this is what the batter looks like at the end. I'm gonna go ahead and get these in the oven. And then I will show you guys some pictures on what the final product looks like. But here's the actual cookie. And pictures are to come at the end.